Hey, Jason Freeman coming to you live from Brandon, South Dakota in the Sioux Coach. And and I needed a drink of water. I chose to take one, and now I feel more hydrated. Anyway, I want to start off today talking about my friend Tim Soren. S Sohn. I never get his last name right. I say it all sorts of ways, and I can't as a joke, and now I can't remember which way it actually is. But that's not important. Or it is. It's his last name, but for this story, it's not. Anyway, his last name is Sohn. Shortly for quite a while before I met him, he had been keeping a big secret, and his secret was that he had leukemia, and it's fine to keep health things secret, and he was doing fine. He was getting treatment, and things were going well. But then this opportunity came up for him to be on a podcast, Jenny Gold's podcast. In fact, if she's watching this, she did an amazing thing. But anyway, in getting ready for Jenny Gold's podcast, Tim is like, hmm, I think now is the time to tell the world that I'm going through a cancer journey, dealing with leukemia. So he went on Jenny Gold's podcast and did just that. And I'm not sure if the podcast was half an hour or an hour or how long it was, but that brief amount of time, Tim giving public words to what he was going through changed his life and impacted so many people. Shortly after that, I met him virtually, and since then I've witnessed him grow. He started a, a podcast with co-hosts showing up perspectives on cancer. A lot of people watch it, and and it gives the guest each week who's going through cancer a chance to do the same thing Tim got to do on Jenny Go's podcast, to speak the story to a live audience. And Tim didn't stop there. He's put on a live event last fall for to help people going through the cancer journey, and now he's editing and co-authoring a book perspectives on cancer. I don't have the title quite right, but just think of how not only Tim's life has changed since he shared the story that he was going through a cancer journey, but all the other people he's impacted, the guests on his pod, podcast, all the viewers of his podcast, all the people who've came to his live event, the authors of this book he's co-authoring and publishing. So his courage to share his story had a massive ripple effect. Now, like we all have parts of our lives we keep private for various reasons, and some we just want to keep private, keep close to home, and that's fine. We there's no need to reveal everything we think or everything we do to everybody, but but I invite you to think if the secrets you keep, if the stuff you don't share is hindering, is 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 it nourishing you to keep that stuff close to home, or are the things that if you share them would allow you to live a bigger life? And you may be saying, "Well, Jason, I've kept such and such thing a secret for years. It's the way I do my life." But oh, but I don't know if you can see that clearly. Maybe I'll make it full screen. Yesterday I was on one of my exploratory drives, and went to Strabo, Iowa, which used to have two banks in it right next to each other. And I don't know the history of Strabo at all, but you can see the banks are no longer in existence. And I bring this up, show this image. Nope. Show this image because to remind us, just because we've always done something a certain way doesn't mean we can't change how we did it. People used to bank in Strabo, Iowa. No, they obviously don't. It doesn't mean they don't bank anywhere. It just means they don't bank in Strabo, Iowa. And just because we've kept something secret for years and years, and it's become habitual, doesn't mean we always have to keep it a secret. I mean, at the very least, we can brainstorm on what would happen if I shared such and such with a few close friends, with a larger friendship group, or what if I shared it with the public. I feel passionate on the subject because for many years I wanted to keep my speech impediment a secret. And you might be like, "Well, Jason, that's pretty much impossible. Every time you you talk, your speech impediment is that, and you are definitely right. Every time I talk, my speech impediment is there, but the energy I was giving it is I don't want people to hear my voice. I'm ashamed of my voice. And on many occasions, I try to speak as little as possible. I would have never have dreamed of doing a live like this. And is it bad that I didn't want to share my voice, that I was kind of ashamed of it. These choices aren't always good or bad. When I didn't share as much of my self and my story publicly, that opened up certain avenues. Probably I would maybe rely on close friends and family a little more. I would I one thing I did is I wrote thousands upon thousands of poems and didn't share them. Now I still write poetry, but I don't have that exact drive to write so many poems. So that there was advantages to feeling the way I did about my voice, and there's advantages to you keeping the things secret you do. There was advantages to Tim keeping his leukemia diagnosis secret. There's advantages to whatever course we choose. But once I just at a certain point in life I realized was causing so much stress, hating my voice and trying to speak as little as possible, and that I had different goals and dreams than those habits would allow. Do you ever realize that, like you're going along doing certain things routinely so the habits, and do you ever look at those habits and go, oh, are these really serving me? At a certain point I went is feeling the way I do about my voice. Is that really serving me? Is that serving what I want in life? Is it serving how I want to grow? Is it serving how I want to help others? And for me at that time, the answer was no. It was stressing me out, and I wasn't feeling as happy as I wanted to feel. So I tried doing things in a new way. I'm like, what if what what if I try public speaking, and when I started, I let me tell you, I thought I knew way more about public speaking and about how to do it and how to be proficient at it than I did. Public speaking is a very tough skill, and I'm still to this day always learning new things about public speaking. and always practicing, and including this live. I'm doing this live for two reasons: to get this information all that, because you or someone else might really need to hear it, and I might say a certain thing in a certain way that really goes straight to your heart, and empowers you to make some change. And I don't know what that thing is. So I do lives for that reason, and I also do lives to practice practice what I've set out to do. I've set out to use my voice as a gift to help as many people, hopefully about millions of people to to think, to maybe remember that they can look at the limitations in a new way, not as crippling them, as the way it always needs to be, but as something to learn from, and move forward from. So I started down this road of not treating my voice as a secret, same as Tim, who I mentioned in the beginning, started with Jenny Go's podcast, and saying, yes, I'm on a cancer journey. I have leukemia. I'm getting treatment. I'm moving forward in life. Started down a road of being more public, less secret. One of the advantages I find of being more public about my voice is that so many opportunities have come my way, from doing a TEDx talk to speaking to so many live audiences. I think somewhere between 75 and 100, and I was going strong, but then the pandemic came, and I spoke into endless virtual audiences, and just that work. I wouldn't be doing that work if I was keeping my voice the secret, and then the impact as a speaker, as an author, as a podcast host, and I think probably in most professions, including carpentry. Even right now, I'm in a house that some great carpenters as built, but do they think every day that, oh gosh, something I did years ago is giving giving someone a place to live? Probably not. We don't we get to act, but it's just we don't always get to appreciate our impact. We get to act, but we don't always get to appreciate our impact. but that doesn't mean that we should stop doing our best. Should stop stepping out when we feel like stepping out, because literally something you said 5 years ago in a conversation could be drastically changing someone's life right now. Like one of the ways my life changed, and this was a little after this, after I decided not to use my voice as a secret. I made that decision, and probably a few years later, I was with my friend Ina Lucas in her car, and even though I made a choice not to use my voice and to speak and celebrate it, I was still like one hand in the celebrating, but on the other hand, the speech impediment really stinks. You ever that way, one hand and where you want to go, and on one hand, this is where I want to go in life. On the other hand, this really stinks, and kind of going back and forth and a little at war with yourself. Well, that's how I was, and I must have been saying something about that to Ina. She just suddenly looked at me and said, "Jason, your voice is one of the greatest gifts you've been given." And coming out of trying to keep something a secret, this is an example of how that process creates more opportunities, because if I was really shy of my voice still, for one, I would have never met Ina, because I met her at an event I was speaking at, and and two, if I was shy about it and not talking about it, I would have never have given her the opening to have the conversation. So no. S- Same thing, just because we've done things a certain way, just because we've kept certain secrets for a long time, certain things private, doesn't mean we can't change. A great a great speaker and presenter and comedian, Kyle Cease, love to say we can always we can see what we will lose, but we can't always see what we will gain. Like when I started using my voice more publicly, I hoped to be living the life I do now. I kind of dreamt of it, but I couldn't see all the particulars. I we just can't. And I chose this picture because it's grain elevators like this one. I'll show you the whole thing. Grain elevators like this one all over the Midwest. You see them in more small towns, but I had never seen someone make art on it and say Lakeview. It's so creative. And this is what we can do with our lives. Our lives are like like a like the grain elevator. We see them in a certain way, and sometimes we can think, oh, that's the only way to see them, but really is just one way. What would it be like for a change? What would it be like for a change? Um, I just include this to show an image of victory for me. Victory in the sense that this is the cover image of my book, and as an author, it was a huge deal to publish a book and crossing the finish line. And in in the book, I encourage people to find their own imperfect best victory in life. And also, this particular thing is a banner for speaking at a church to all ages. And if I if I was still keeping my voice a secret, it definitely wouldn't have happened. Tim, Tim's on. Told you a story and sang your praises at the beginning, my friend. And um and uh, yeah, I need to get your book, Jason. I need to get yours too, Tim. And the only reason we have books to offer each other, we could, yeah, let's buy each other books. But the only reason we have books is we started keeping we stopped keeping part of our lives that we didn't feel the best about a secret. For you, it was your cancer journey. For me, it was my speech impediment. And as I've been saying during this half hour, it's not about oh, Jason's talking about revealing secrets, so I should just reveal all my secrets to everyone. No, we have an opportunity to just do an assessment and think of where's holding stuff close to the vest serving me. Where is it serving the people around me? Where do I enjoy keeping things private? And then where could I possibly reveal something that I've been holding close that could be transformative not only to my life or other people's lives? And as usual, I don't have any exact answers for you. I don't have none. But I know the power of asking questions and offering new perspectives, and I like doing that whether it's on a Facebook Live or whether I'm speaking to to 2,000 high school students in Austin, Minnesota, which was before the pandemic. It sounds so good now. Oh, I'll come back to what I was saying, but speaking of speaking of great people who share important parts of the story that they could have kept private and close to the vest all their lives. Bob Donnell. Bob, when you speak to an audience, when you do it live, you share from a level of humanity, of real life, of as humans, things don't always go away for us. Sometimes they go very painfully wrong. But as people, we so often want to just project the way parts of, like, see, I have a suit coat and I'm wearing a t-shirt. I'm cool. Everything's good. I have a microphone here. I'm coming to you on Facebook Live and YouTube and LinkedIn. Everything's good. And yes, that's part of it. The things we love to celebrate publicly that make us look good are definitely part of it. That inspirational. They contain wisdom, and they show we have pride in ourselves, and that we really care. But then there's also the parts of our life that just, as much as we want them to, just do not go right. And it's not like some people have all good stuff happen, and just good thing after good thing for the 100 years of their life, and then and they they die in their sleep. That's just, I mean, I don't think that would even be a movie, because there would be no drama in it. It would just be a snooze fest, because everything would go right. But there is, in reality, there's tragedies that happen. People we love sometimes die. People we care about, sometimes we have a falling out with, and it's really hard. Sometimes we make big mistakes, and it's really feels awful. A lot of times we are just plain confused, and don't know what to do next. And we can look around and look at Facebook and be like, oh my gosh, everyone has it all together. Why am I the one struggling? And that's an illusion. But if we all keep our struggles a secret, perpetuate we perpetrate. I don't know the correct keyword there. We perpetuate, maybe, the illusion that everyone has it all together. It takes brave people like Tim to say, hey, I have cancer. I'm dealing with a cancer journey. Or Bob to say, yeah, I lost some people who were very dear to me when I was young, and it had a profound effect on my life. it takes people like that to to stand up and say, hey, it's okay that your life isn't going absolutely perfectly. It's okay that you don't know all the answers. It's okay that sometimes you don't do the thing you think is absolutely right and impeccable. It's okay that you're imperfect. We can still be we can be human with all the failings that entails and still be loved. It's not like we have to be perfect to be loved. We can be human and be loved. And I don't know if the hand gesture worked at all, but I tell you, hey, so I speak because I know the pain of being silent about what I really feel and what I really love, and about my good ideas. And I speak because I know the pain of being so locked into one perspective. Like, I hate my voice, or this is this way, or this is this way, and just being so locked and gripping it so tight, even though the perspective is very painful. And I love to speak, and admittedly, I'm still looking for opportunities. I think I'll always be looking for opportunities as a speaker. Yeah, yes, I'm working very hard at creating opportunities and networking and reaching out to people in a variety of ways. But as a speaker, part of it is you're looking for opportunities. If you know a group that could be impacted by my message, please share with me, or please connect us into our email. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just something to start a conversation. Speaking of heroes and people who speak out about life and spread joy, and who've come a long ways in their life. Brian Shulman, Brian and his co-hosts, including Nancy Bells and Tim, who I talked about on the show before. They 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 literally they saw the pandemic that like this is horrible and hard for so many people. We are going to create a show and bring people together, and we're not going to do it once, but we're going to do it twice a week. And they did it, and it was awfully successful. And do you imagine they felt awkward at times being being on air? Yeah, sure. I imagine they did. And do you imagine that that they didn't keep as many things close to the vest as they once did, of course, but they did it. And and last thing, and Jenny, my friend, who you were on a event last night, you were speaking, you were sharing your truth. I missed it because I was doing something and had to be in town. Oh, actually, the event was on Friday night, but you did it. And talk about sharing gifts. And this episode comes full circle because you tuned in, Jenny. Because I was talking in the beginning about you providing the space for Tim to share his cancer story for the first time on your show, and and all that did for his life, and now you're on, and now you're on here commenting and saying beautiful things like, "Hey, Jason, love you." Hey, Jason, love you. Thank you, Jenny. And appreciate you, my friend. But we just have so much power to to, to one to choose which direction to go, to choose if we want to keep doing things the same way we've done them, or make some tweaks. Three, maybe one of the tweaks is sharing something we've kept private. And, and four, when that happens, when you're ready, you don't know how big that can grow. You don't know how many people that can impact. Your courage plants a seed, but you don't know how big that goes. And lastly, I want to reiterate that this is not about a secrecy assessment. Is not about suddenly saying, "Oh, I'm going to be an open book and share everything and anything about my life." No, not that. I mean, the some things we keep private for reasons, and but if there's something you notice in your life where you're not sharing something or ashamed of something, and you wonder what a path of sharing it will lead to, I really encourage you to experiment, share with a few more people, few more friends, and see how that goes, and maybe a few more friends, and maybe a few more, and maybe you're inspired to share publicly. And maybe through that sharing, you're about a new part of your career. Maybe not, who knows? Well, thanks for tuning in. I love speaking. Jenny says I was able to finally shed deeper because of everyone who shared on my show. Oh my gosh. And this is a perfect last comment, Jenny. So perfect. I was able to finally shed deeper because of everyone who has shared on my show. We literally give each other so much courage. We literally give each other so much courage. Oh, one more comment. Ingrid, Ingrid, who's giving me courage by commenting on my stuff, and who is just this brilliant person who I haven't met in person yet, but but from your comments, I know you're brilliant. And that picture you shared of the the boats on the dock, the rowboats, I think. I hope I have that way. That was brilliant. Thanks, Jason. I wish I saw this earlier. I will watch from the beginning. Thanks for posting these. You're welcome, Ingrid. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure, and we create opportunities for each other. Thanks for watching and commenting, Ingrid. I watch as much live as I can, but keep being real and honest with us. It is wonderful. And this brings me to my last point. It's got to be my last point. I'm itching to go for a walk. It's been a cold week in South Dakota, and now the weather's nice. Never underestimate your impact when you're in a live audience or when you're commenting on a Facebook Live. Just never underestimate your impact. In a live audience, you give direct energy to the speaker through your facial expressions, through your question, through your engagement. And you can change that speaker's life. And through comments like all of these today, they help so much. It makes a Facebook Live it makes it literally a co-creation. It takes the live in different directions. Like I'm having this discussion right now because Ingrid posted a comment. So never underestimate your power, even though as humans are not we're great at underestimating our power. We're great at underestimating the impact we have. But and we can do better with seeing how we impact people, and we don't need to get a big head about it, but to have, like my dad talks about, to have a quiet confidence that, hey, what I do matters. Hey, what I do matters. I don't see how it all ripples out to impact the world, and I never will. It's just part of the mystery of life. We don't get to see how our efforts totally ripple out. In some cases, someone comes back years later and say, "Hey, you really impacted my life," but that's the exception. That's a lucky occurrence. But no, in your interactions, as simple as a comment on a Facebook Live, that's so valuable. As simple as smiling at someone who looks like they're having a bad day in the grocery store. There's just endless ways we can be kind to each other and nourish each other. Thank you all on this live for being kind to me today and nourishing me. I hope I gave you good stuff. And if you're watching this, the replay, no. Thank you for watching, and if you have a comment, please comment, and I hope I'll see it. And I'll try and respond. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for the things you choose to keep close and keep secrets. And thank you as well for the things you choose to create, to courageously and creatively share. You make a difference. You are the best one of you in the world. You are the only you in the world. And we don't know where this life will totally take us. We can't see the future. We can't see how our actions will evolve. But let's keep creating. Let's keep sharing as we'll guided and inspired to. You are the best. Thanks for being you. Have a great rest of your Sunday or whatever day you're watching this. If you're watching this on a Tuesday in 2028, have a great Tuesday in 2028. And please comment. Let me know how that Tuesday is. Little Back to the Future to end with. See y'all. Talk to you next time.